Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Legend Series. It's Season 3 and it's Day 1. Doesn't feel like Day 1, feels like a little bit longer. These long group stages, amazing matches, amazing Counter-Strike, and we've got another amazing game in Counter-Strike coming up right now. It's Squared eSports versus AVB. And we've really got to say about this next match is this isn't actually the repeat that we were possibly expecting, or a lot of people were expecting. We were expecting possibly a rematch between FTW and Squared eSports, but I feel like it's a little more interesting. After a 16-4 whitewash earlier, I really don't want to see that again, but I feel like we possibly could. A Squared eSports are on a much higher caliber but they're just on a much higher level than AVB. So I feel like this is probably going to be another one-sided matchup. I feel like what Outlaws did to AVB earlier, Squared are probably going to do something very similar. Obviously, Squared isn't on the level of Outlaws, so that adds some interest and intrigue to this game. We've seen a lot of cobblestone today, so I presume that could be left in by both teams. Both teams have played it. Obviously, Squared... AVB played it twice, so Squared haven't played it yet, but against Outlaws, they played... What did they play? They played Cash, didn't they? So it's like Squared's map pool is wide open, and what we were saying about Outlaws earlier, however, that they could win like just off the map veto. They could get a map which is almost an insta-win straight away. A similar thing could definitely happen in this matchup as well. Seems like the match is going to be played on Inferno. And, okay, I guess that's an unknown quantity to some extent. We haven't seen Inferno at all today. We've certainly not seen either of these teams play it. But I guess it adds some intrigue. It's an interesting map to be playing on, and I don't know if there's anything necessarily that we could specifically say about either of these teams on Inferno. Obviously, we haven't quite seen them. We don't know how they play on this style of map either. But we should be getting into this one pretty damn soon because we're live in the warm up right now and looking like this could actually be more of an interesting game. I don't think that it's going to be a close 16-13 or anything like that. I think it's probably going to be like a 16-6, but this is where we see how strong Squared can be, because obviously earlier against Outlaws they took 9 rounds, didn't they? But that was on Cash, so we kind of discounted it. We kind of said that, yeah, this doesn't matter, it's only Cash, Outlaws never play it anyway, and we kind of almost discounted those 9 rounds. So against a higher tier of opponent, an opponent that just beat FTW, who they played earlier, surely this could be this could possibly be a good matchup. And remember, straight after this match we have the caster challenge, so use !CME if you want to get involved in that one. The knife round's over, and Squared eSports. And if you're just tuning in for that, for this map, we've got a free giveaway where you play against the caster after this, straight after this game. So you can !CME and you win a knife, you win an expensive weapon skin as well if you beat me. If you don't, you win nothing, mate. But we're straight into this pistol round. Squared eSports versus AYB. And AYB going for a pretty standard setup. It's just the snail trail through... Well, I like to say that. Is that bad? Jurek gets the first headshot. I'll stop there. Gets the initial onto Xavi, but... looking for a couple more. He's only on 2 HP, so he's going to get battled down by NKY and like Jordan. Oh, looking for some more. He's on the head glitch angle, but the Glocks always favoured in that position. In Squared, they might lose this pistol round. This is a really good start for AYB, as taking a pistol round can definitely be momentum, and we just saw what they could do on their T side. So taking lots of T rounds against Squared is definitely what we want to see, what we need to see. And, oh, Asmo, that was a crispy headshot. Nice and crispy. Mamma mia. 1-0 for AYB. And what's that biome going to look like? A couple of UMPs, 3 UMPs. Is it going to be the fourth? No, just a Tech 9 from MNL. So he's obviously the AWPer from AYB. Shows us that he definitely wants to get that AWP in early, win or lose this round. That they're prioritizing the AWPs. It'll be interesting to see if he actually does any damage with it. I guess he's probably going to be the first scouting in. Dav goes for a cheeky peek, does a little bit of damage, but it's no kill. Chev's going to take it instead, a headshot with a 5-7. MNL, but he was on the Tech 9, so it doesn't really matter. And AYB now know that this is a force buy. Surely it was going to be a force buy. It's CS in 2017, right? Squared eSports 5 versus 4, trying to push into Banana. And this is a portion of the map where that Squared is actually abandoned to some extent. They've completely fallen back off of it. They don't want any part of it anymore. They've already had their initial pick and they've gone for the boost instead. So Chev, I love this angle, and this is an angle not checked by a lot of tier 2 teams. Shout out to CSGO, who hates this position not being checked, but Mantis is going to check it. They're going to pre-fire it as well, and Chev, that tactic being completely compromised. Zav is the next to drop, Dav, sorry, as a nice crispy headshot comes in, and Squared possibly not going to be able to do a lot here. They need the win. It's a full force buy. Just damage isn't good enough here, because remember the eco's coming next round. The AYB, yeah, the boost, the secondary boost, actually not being caught out and not even finding the frag. Asmo does find one more, and they're going to push through this smoke. Zavi does get dropped because of it, but with no kit Squared, they're surely not going to be able to get onto this bomb site on time. And with Jordan trying to push through this smoke, are they going to be able to do it? Catch Asmo off. 1 and 2. Nice spray down. And AYB stay alive. 2-0. And 8 HP left. That was a lovely round from Asmo. Pretty much doing everything single-handedly. Square got to be cussing right now, and how didn't we get that final kill? That could have been so close. But Asmo instead finding it. And here come the Molotov Strata Banana, making sure that Squared aren't getting cheeky with the USPs, the cheeky beaky USP. Instead going for a couple of pre-fires, and Squared, nah, they're playing passive, stacked 3 or possibly 4, I can't really see on the B site. Is that 3 or 4? I can't see where the 5th member of Squared is, so I guess that they're boosted 1 and 2 on the B site with just Dav over towards A. And I like this from Squared, playing a stack here. AYB, if they just go really quick, they could definitely be caught out by this, but I don't think they are. I think that they're going to sniff this one out, go a little bit slower, and they've already used 45 seconds on the clock. Trying to sniff out what the Squared buy's going to look like, whether there's any UMPs there, whether they're getting cheeky with the with any 5.7s. However, it's just Holmes here, and he's playing this head glitch angle again. He should just get mowed down by the AK-47s on the entry. And they have spotted him out. Holmes does take the one, but he's dodging and weaving, trying to see where they're playing from. But AK-47 in hand gets himself boosted up, and they're coming in towards A. The only AK-47 in the playing field has been spotted out. MNL finds him, sprays him down. Easy peasy for AYB as they plant this bomb. And Squared, it's just got to be setting up for exits. A little bit of economic damage is first on the menu. It's the starter here today. AYB though, they probably won't allow this. I don't think that they're going to force. I don't think that they're going to fall foul to these crossfires with just USPs. I think that they'll probably save towards Pit. I'd love to see a dossier nade into Pit. Like, imagine it right now. 4 players here. This would be so awesome. Somebody do this. Somebody do this for Legend Series. Just like throw a nade straight on in to Pit. And they lost players there. Is the bomb radius like greater or something? They lost like so much damage there, and a player as well. AYB, hello? What's going on? Squared though, with 5 rifles. This is their first proper buy-up the whole match so far. And not many Molotovs. That's one thing that we've got to say. Molotovs on Inferno are actually less important than on a map like Cobblestone because the choke points are so big. And because the choke points are big, you can just walk around a Molotov. You don't actually have to run all the way through. Whereas on old Inferno, smokes used to be deadly. You could just smoke off the B-bomb site for the duration of the whole round. And the same with Molotovs as well. You could just molly, and then as soon as the push comes in, 2 mollies down. And this is what made Fnatic so amazing on this map. They used to just be able to, they call them choke points for a reason, choke their opponents straight through, and then Crimson Olivemeister on the other side of the smoke just cut you apart with an easy spray down. Holmes does find the one though, looking for the second, but can't find it. Jordan instead is going to pick that one up and keep the man advantage alive for Squared. But AYB, it's up to them to break it down once more as they are hot on the heels of Squared right now. Here comes another entry frag. They've now got the man advantage, and this bomb going down is, that's not good for Squared by any stretch of the imagination. Nice headshot, but AYB need to set up with some better after-plant positions. That's when Savvy pushed into pit. As Squared, they need this round. Losing this would mean a 5-0 start for AYB, and here come the Molotovs as well. AYB's like clutching them back and holding them until the final portions of the round. Savvy, when's he going to go for this peak? This push is so slow from Squared, but does find the headshot. Dav with another wallbang, and Chev's going to find it as well. Last second defuse. Is it actually going to come in? Yeah, Squared clutches it. 1-3 as they finally put a round on the board. And AYB, Christ, you got to kick in yourself. You didn't need to play that aggressively. You could have had one player in apps. You could have had a second player in pit. You could have just played it passively. Played your cards. Play your cards close to your chest. I won the round, but didn't actually happen. 1-3 now. As AYB. Oh, I'm going to take that first frag. It's NKY picking them up first, but they haven't been able to salvage this AK-47. I'd like to see M&L come with his HE grenade and blast it back into Banana, but instead it's going to be the smoke, actually assisted by the Squared side. It looks like a little bit of a bait. NKY does take a lot of damage from that, but does find the AK-47, whereas he only had a Tech 9 to start off this round. So good play by AYB to finally find this 5-man setup. The Squared playing a 2-2, a more standard play. Maybe the 3-1 would be standard in this position, but instead, if you always play a 3-1 setup, then it leaves B very, very exposed, so not going to do that. AYB instead. Straight into Banana. And Dav's going to have a real challenge on his hands. Squared has misread this one pretty badly. And here come the smokes. The Molotov probably going to follow it up as well. Even if Mantis's Molotov is well placed, it could be brutal. But Dav takes 2 from the boost. Looking for 3, but can't find it. M&L with a clutch headshot. And this gives AYB a really great chance and a good opportunity to break the Squared economy. And yeah, I wonder what shape this economy is going to be in. Definitely not nice plump and circular. Going to probably be pretty squared. And KY, the Savvy with the re-peak easy from AYB. And 4-1's our scoreline as AYB actually just shoot ahead. And we didn't expect this. Squared going to be likely, well, due to this force buy, if they don't take this, 6-1 behind, and then AYB only a buy round away from winning this half. This would be just clutch and crucial. Devastating for Squared to be this far behind. And remember what Nero was saying earlier. He was saying that Squared have like 5 officials tonight, 6 officials. That's a crazy amount of matches to be played. And I don't know if they're all best of 1 or some of them are best of 3 as well, but that's just too many matches to be played, and maybe fatigue is starting to set in for them. Chev does find a deagle shot. It wasn't crisp and clean, but it was a decent spray down. And AYB Don't have the man advantage anymore. Instead, a man down. Squared really want to hold on to this one. They force bought into it, so just damage isn't an option anymore. And Jurek, thanks to that smoke grenade, is forced to back off. And Squared, look at this rotation. It's so slow. They haven't rotated any players towards the A site, and they pretty much know that it's going to be an A push at this point. There's no aggression, and this is why having information onto Banana is so key to be able to go for this 4-1 setup. And Jurek able to sneak through a shot, but traded straight back by Asmo, and this is a pretty fair engagement onto A now. If Square can't clutch through another one, but they do! Sneaks 2 kills through. Holm and Jordan. How are they finding it? Squared is so clutch right now. Xavi with 64 HP left, got to pull through a 1v3, but I'm sure it's not going to happen. There are Squared members all around him, and Dav not waiting for anybody. Straight onto the site. Xavi drops, and without a kit, doesn't even need it. Puts the second round on the board for Squared eSports. Wow, this is... I don't even know how you analyze this. AYB just played that pretty poorly. They just walked straight into the pistols. I would have liked to see them just take banana control or something, use the Molotovs more effectively. You see, they didn't have any Molotovs into pit. When you're playing against pistols, why not just go for a set execute? Why not just throw 3 Molotovs into the A site and swarm them out with the smokes as well? Maybe even without smokes, maybe just throw the Molotovs in, a couple of preliminary HEs and follow it up. But Squared benefiting off the back of AYB's sloppiness. Maybe getting complacent after only taking 3 rounds. And here's the Molotov, but it's a little too late as Jordan takes 2. Traded back out, but Xavi does find another one, 3v3 and Squared. This is such an important round for them. If they don't take this, it's probably going to be forced back onto this dismal economy that we saw earlier. But AYB, they've got good afterplans, not good health though, as the AWP probably going to be the clutch player here. Squared very quickly encroaching onto this position, but they've not got any Molotovs left, so it's got to be the smoke to catch off angles. Holmes finds one, and Dav, he's sneaking in. Clutch headshot, putting Squared on his back, and there's 3 in 1. Squared finds it and puts a 3rd round on the board, and are they going to get that defuse anytime soon? Woohoo! Come on. Holmes does defuse it. 3-4 as they close up the gap a little bit. AYB, go for the pause. Yeah, this is not looking good right now. AYB, what they force onto an eco? Yeah, they're pretty much... Well, they've got a pretty weird amount of money right now. They could force to go for... They could have liked to go for a Galil, 2 AK-47s, and 2 UMPs with maybe a pistol in there on M&L, but I feel like they're probably not going to go for that. They're probably just going to eco instead. It only takes 1 eco, and then you've got a really decent buy in Squared. They've been struggling against the full buys. This has been one of their stumbling blocks. You really need to feel for AYB. They had such a great advantage, and remember, they need rounds on this T side as well. Their CT on Cobblestone was really very weak. If you're honest about it, yeah, they took the follow-up after pistol, and they took like 6 or 7, but overall it was a weak half. They only took like 2 gun rounds, and on Cobblestone that's just not enough. If Inferno is anything the same, this is going to be a pretty quick match. Dav putting a couple of shots through the smoke, and what was that, all that damage? I looked away for 1 second and AYB almost lose everything. I guess it was the initial nades down banana. That's just my prediction, but Squared eSports catching everyone off guard, catching AYB off guard, catching me off guard. And this 3-2 setup, once again, Squared going for a very default setup. They've obviously not got the HE, so on the push, Not too decisive or anything, but here comes a spray down, 3 in a row, quad kill looking like, but no, possibly not. The support there, easy round. There was no armor though, so it's not too much to scream and shout about, but the gap now closed up, 4-4, and this is where we really can get into the action. AYB going to have a full buy-up for the first time in a little while, actually. They've been pretty weak for a little while now. And what a peek from Jurek. That was so quick. Mantis getting caught off guard. Takes one straight in the body with that AWP. And if Squared are going to add an AWP to their mix, an aggressive AWP at that, this is possibly going to be a very tricky T-half for the AYB side. AYB need to get something going. But Squared eSports, they need to go for a little bit more. AYB moving towards the A site and not actually being spotted out too much yet. They're giving away a lot of their game plan by taking pop shots into the A site. Squared eSports very slow to rotate once again. This is one of the symptoms of their signature style by going for very slow rotates. Jurek picks another one up. That's 2 for him in the round, but with the rotate over towards B, he's placed himself towards Arch, which means that he's got a fast rotate, and having an AWP in CT for the B push is an extremely powerful way to go about it. And this is last second Molotovs from Squared, so AYB are going to have to peek right into these ones or go for a final second push, 2v5 as well. How's it going to work out? NKY trying to make it, but can't find the follow-up shot. MNL is the last player alive, but Davo is just playing steady, playing passive, and it's going to force MNL to fall back into the waiting arms of Jordan as Square take the lead. So AYB? This is another eco from them. Probably a semi-buy with a quasi, with a couple of pieces of armor, just leveling out the money, making sure that they've got enough money into the next round, but ensuring they don't have the stumbling blocks, which are going to cause them to fall away. But Jordan, oh, this could be a money nade. Yeah, like 100 damage there. Headshot through the wall as well. The follow-up Molotov. He's got everything going for him. And AYB just can't charge back his position. That is, like, if you're watching at home and you want to know how to improve playing the apps area, that is just how to do it. The perfectly timed nade, the follow-up Molotov, hitting one shot and falling back, not overcommitting. That's just how to play it to a T. And he only finds one shot, but he gives his team all of the information. They know where AYB is coming from, and the A site is actually a site which is pretty open in terms of these choke points. AYB should probably be able to get onto it unless Squared are stacking and making a 4-1 setup, which has its advantages and disadvantages. Like, I'm not going to talk through them, but Mantis does drop as well. But yeah, obviously if you play the 4-1 setup, it leaves B very, very, very vulnerable. You need to play for information to know when the rotate's coming in. You need to have a man towards Arch as well, who can get smoked off, and is almost always smoked off. But AYB just, it counts as a rush. If you're going to rush straight into the A site, 4-1 setup's a perfect way to deal with it. 5 AK-47s for AYB. They've been saving for this for the past round. They've got plenty of utility as well, so they could swarm up the A site. They could put all the Molotovs down, but I feel like they've not been playing this sort of default set style of Counter-Strike for, well, the whole match now, the whole day. So if they go for it now, I'll be like somewhat surprised and squared. You see that they're taking aggression towards Banana. They've got the information that there's nobody into Banana just yet, and it allows them to go for the boost. And I'm sure that Dav is probably going to rotate back towards Arch, I guess, towards CT. Yeah, so he's on a fast rotate now. if they need the fourth player over, Davo's going to be very quick. And they've fallen back, and yeah, they know that this is going to be a set execute. They've got almost 4 players on A at this point, but Jurek almost doesn't need it. 1 and 2, looking for the third as well, surely can't get it. But MNL shuts him down. Multi-kills galore for Squared as they wrap up, clean up this attack. AYB looking so strong. This was a default from them. They at least could have got a bomb plant, but Squared clean it up. 7 rounds. AYB, what do you do? You haven't got an AK-47, haven't got any Molotovs to your name. You have to take some real estate, but with Jurek going aggressive, how can you do it? Oh Christ, that spray down was vile, the one, and he just carried on, trying to find anyone else towards the bottom of Banana with it smoked off. He knew that nobody could punish him, knew that the passable AWPer, if there was one, there isn't, couldn't actually aggress onto his position, but AYB don't have anything to counter these set pieces, and Jurek holding down the smoke, perfect trigger discipline, 1 and 2. You see them playing off each other so perfectly, and that's what puts Squared on another level. Yeah, it was scrimmy early, and AYB got ahead, but another thing to mention is AYB, it kind of felt like a really big battle to take their 4 rounds, didn't it? However, Squared, it feels like they're just going through the motions to take 8, to take double. And Squared, they're trying to switch things up here, perhaps expecting a B rush with the pistols. They know that it's going to be pistols, obviously, just because of the economy, because this was a full buy, so they know that it has to be UMPs at best, no AWPs at all, unless they've miscalculated and misread something somewhere. But this play where you put 3 towards B, smoke the bomb on Banana, is to get an aggressive player there. It's to normally allow a rifler, but this time they put Jurek there with an AWP to take Banana control, to allow a 4-1 setup, and they've pretty much gone for it with Davo boosted over, and they can hear all the footsteps. Davo's going to be hot on their heels, and this spray down not connecting, but it's going to be Chev. Oh, look at their homes! 4 kills, all headshots apart from the first. Disgusting. 9 rounds on the board for Squared, and it seems to be one person showing up, another person showing up. You see Holmes 14 and 7, the Cirque scoreline from earlier. And when you're at something like 14 and 7, you're picking up 2 kills every time you die. You're not giving away any of these rifles. He's giving away a maximum of 7 rifles in 14 rounds. This is just huge, and he's picked up an average of 1 kill per round, over 1 kill per round. So it's just nuts play from him to pick up to get 100 ADR or whatever his ADR is pretty crazy. And you see Jurek's ADR is 108 right now. I don't know how accurate that is, but sometimes that is a little bit off, but it's pretty monstrous, especially with an AWP where a lot of your kills are coming on somebody with 30 HP left because you're playing a more passive style. But with the smokes in, this is to buy space for MNL. He's trying to gain space into the A site, and these smokes are coming in, but it's all to buy space for this T AWPer. And Jordan, he's going to face off against him very, very soon. Going for these jumpies, trying to spot out any advantage he can, and does spot one. And there are no Molotovs apart from the one on Mantis to actually bait him out of pit. This is a real problem for AYB. They've got to get onto this A bomb site. They've only got 30 seconds to do it. Holmes has been a monster in this position. There's the first. Doesn't even have to go for the headshot because Xavi wasn't holding that position down. Everybody chipping in from Squared in this 1v2, trying to take shots through the wall, trying to do everything. As Mantis, he's pinched on this A site. 15 seconds to plant the bomb, but how the hell is he going to get back? He needs to take possibly a kill and then back again. And Squared, they're just not peeking this. You see ring around the Rosie, both peek at once. Perfect play by Squared. You see them just playing together. That's the team effort that we've been talking about. And this is why we say that a team like Squared is on a completely different level, a much higher level to this AYB side. This is nuts. This is just like a disgusting CT half, considering that AYB took 4 out of the 5 first rounds of this half and then proceeded to lose 9 practically in a row. Yeah, 9 in a row. 9 in a row for Squared. This is just like lockdown CT stuff. And yeah, we were bigging it up to be close earlier when AYB were 4-1 up, but ever since then, ever since the AWPs came out, ever since Holmes got his hands on that precious M4A4, it was just all over the place. And Squared likely to post an 11-4 half, which is just way too much, especially on Inferno, which is a much more competitive map. Should be seeing 8-7s and 9-6s towards towards the T half, and like anything can really happen on Inferno, like CT or T. Should be able to take rounds, but you see that flash was perfect. Jordan finds the first, and AYB going to speed up behind it. Know where the AWP is as well, but they're all flashed up. Should be able to go for another one, but it's a slaughter once again. Holmes, he's a monster. Headshots everywhere. Asmo with 13 HP, nothing he can do. Here come the Molotovs as well, but he's not even needed. Holmes, and through the wall. He's a robot, just picking up every shot he goes for. 18 kills and a half. Boom, 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 boom. Holmes, what are you made of, mate? He's just decimating these. The rest of his team might as well go home. It's just him. AYB need to take this pistol round though. This is their last chance, their final chance to actually get something rolling. Likely not going to be anything. If they want to get a CT side rolling, it's got to be off the back of a strong economy, but oh, that's a nice opening headshot. One bulleter from Asmo. And Squared reconsiders their options, as they baited footsteps away towards the A site, but that's not enough to get a rotation really. You need a man maybe getting a kill or two onto the A site to actually force that sort of rotation that they were aiming for there, but here comes the smoke. And MNL, who's got a fast flank. So Squared, they've got to be onto this site quickly, and against 3 players, possibly not going to happen. Is there one guy on the boost as well? AYB has a perfect crossfire, but they're just losing men. Left, right, and centre. Dav goes down, and oh no, Jordan goes down, sorry. 3-3, and this bomb's down as well, so Holmes doesn't need to peek it, but he is anyway, but it's to his demise. MNL gifted a kill, and NK as well. Squared getting a little too aggressive. Loses 3 in a row. As AYB, they had a good start to the last half, but this half is going to be the same story. And if they are going to take Inferno, and they're not going to be eliminated from this tournament, obviously both these teams have taken losses, both against Outlaws, by the way, who are in the winners match in our grand final just after the Caster Challenge. Exclamation mark CME, by the way, if you want to play in that to win some skins, you get to play against me straight after this, and if you beat me, you win a knife, an M4A 1S something. It's pretty nice. Decimate, Factory New, it's pretty decent. It's really good skins. So it's free skins basically. Exclamation mark CME for that one. 11-5 though. And AYB, this is a pretty funny buy. They're going for like full on economy, sorry, with 3 pretty classically weak SMGs, but against a but the reason they've done it is they probably know, because Squared got the bomb down, that they're not going to go for this round. They're going to save this time. They're not going to have the armor, in which case the MP9s, the MP7s rip through unarmored opponents, but that's a bit of a risk. The M4 missing shots, and he's going to get at the follow-up. Jordan just oblivious to what's going on around him, trying to get the bomb onto the site, and the bomb is on the site. Unfortunately, it's not planted, and Squared probably just going to get chopped away by these M4s. And remember, the kills haven't actually been on... yeah, those MP9s get no kills, so that investment actually pans out to 0. This is a real problem because AYB can't gain that money. They've had if all of those kills had been on the SMGs, they'd have had twice the amount of money as they currently have in terms of kill bonus, and they would have been able to afford maybe even another buy round. Having an extra $1,500 across 1 or 2 players is really huge for that extra Molotov. And CD side is massive for that, and you see AYB have to keep the MP9s because of it, and Square just destroying them off the back of it. Asmo, There's nothing he can do. He's probably just going to get dinked down to 0 as well as Squared. Oh, they're just holding this angle. Headshots everywhere. As Asmo's the final man's dropped, 12-6. Square take another round from the AYB side, and that's the first opening round for them on this CT side, on the C side, sorry, so far. So playing with the 5 rifle setup, this is something that's actually quite common on Inferno with such open angles. It's common to sometimes not go over the T-AWP. I think that the T-AWP's actually quite effective, but if you don't have somebody who needs it all the time in Square, don't really have that. You've got players who can all play rifles. You don't have the Kenny S who really needs the AWP in his hands. Not that he's really bad with rifles, but just because he's so good with the AWP, Jordan. Doing bits of damage, but not nearly as much as you possibly thought through that wood. I'm just going to take another one as well. This is all easy, plain sailing for Squared, as AYB, possibly because they didn't get enough kills on those SMGs earlier, means that they've got far less money, means that they have to go for an eco, means that Squared take another round, and like, this is probably not going to be the difference maker at this point, but AYB have decided we really want a full buy. We want the AWP. Maybe they'll even go for an auto sniper if they're feeling rude, if they're feeling BM. Let's see what they go for. 2 M4s. There's a Famous as well. What's that money like? Are they on bad? Oh, their money's horrible. So they're definitely not going to have the luxury of all of these AWPs and the scope rifles that I was talking about. Instead, it's going to be 2 Famouses and pretty good utility. They're favouring the weaker Famous over the M4 and less utility. Means that they have the Molotovs and the CT side, but they've just thrown away early. So AYP, I would disagree with this. I would say throwing your Molotovs that early on Inferno is just such a waste. It's like, you invested like 3,000 into this round. They've already spent 2,400 just throwing it into the gravel. What a waste. Xavi and NKY both drop, and it is going to be returned back by Squared, who are looking to close this map out early. 14-6 is likely going to be the scoreline as David pretty much seals the deal. There's Asmo dropping as well. 14-6 is the scoreline as Squared need one more gun round really to finish this and rematch Outlaws in our grand final in straight after our Caster Challenge. Five AK setup. It's been favouring the Squared side for quite some time now. They love it, don't they? Just playing a very default game of Counter-Strike, but that... Oh, what a shot! Did he even see anything? That was pixel perfect from Holmes. Oh, and a second one as well. He's disgusting. These headshots. So quick, isn't he? That first one especially was just... Like, I don't know what he saw on his screen, but I certainly didn't see anything on mine. 15 rounds. AYB, 9 in a row. Otherwise, it's see you later. Next Legend Series for them. They'll be out, done and dusted, but... Nine in a row. Can you really expect it? I don't think so. Squared have just been rolling them. Ever since they got those 5 AK-47s, even the one Khalil, they've been huge, and it's straight into the A site once again. One more time for them, and it's Holmes to open up proceedings. And oh, that's a nice shot from NKY, but he's got the glass cannon AWP, and his position is exposed. So Squared know where he is, and they're going to punish him from apps. Chev falling down into pit as well, and this should be game, set, and match for Squared eSports, as they've got perfect after plant positions, one into pit. They don't have to play this one too aggressively, but they could definitely go for the picks anyway. Jordan straight over the smoke. They've even got smokes and a Molotov, so this is going to close AYB out of this round. And Mantis, he's actually giving away his position by throwing out that smoke grenade, but it's to aid his push out of apps, and they know where he is now. He's pushed straight out. Chev doesn't need to expose himself. This bomb is actually ticking down, straight over, around, ring around the Rosie, down. Chev closes out the match, closes out the series, 16-6. Wow. But This is the time you've all been waiting for. This is the closed, or not the closed, but the cast challenge. You had to face me on ChallengeME 1 versus 1. So let's select somebody. Let's decide who's going to be challenging me. And remember, get your final bets in right now. Get !CME if you want to play for a skin. It's a Boreal Forest. Yeah, here we go. Stat Track, Shadow Dagger, Boreal Forests, or the, what is it? The Stat Track. Oh no, yeah. The Shadow Daggers, Forest DD Pat, Field Tested, and the Stat Track Emperor A1S Decimated. That's factory now. So let's get into ChallengeME and let's play some Counter-Strike. I am looking forward to this one. Log me in, boys. I'm just signing in now. Okay, so have a look in the chat now. Like once the delays called out, we're going to have my battle partner, my partner for today, who's going to be facing off against me. Oh, good luck, because I think you're going to lose, mate. Have a look at it. Everybody have a look. We're going to have a very quick break. I think that's what I heard. So 3 minutes. And then we're going to be straight back with a 1v1 challenge. Good luck to whoever it is. I think you're going to lose. See you in a minute.
Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna say goodbye. No. Never gonna give you